How are you, Joan?
I'm good. We finally made it.
Yeah,
No.
sorry guys. I was using my computer. Joan set me straight and told me I need to use my phone.
Yeah.
So how's it
Yeah.
going, Joan?
Good. Good, good, good.
Anything exciting happening?
There's always exciting stuff happening.
Well, I know you got I think you had a live event coming up, right? Talk more about that.
I do have a masterclass coming up on the 20th, which is what, 8 days away or nine
Yeah.
days away. And it's called Get Out of Your Own Way. The 5 steps to attract your dream man in 2024. So that's
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about that because that's um one of the things I wanted to ask
Mhm.
you, and I think we talked about this when I had you on my podcast a couple of months ago. Um, are women more accepting now of what's happening out there in dating now? I mean, it seems like it's way out of proportion, depending on who it is. Someone's, their standards might be too high. We can't meet their standards. I don't know, whatever you want to talk about,
Yeah,
I'm good with
I,
that.
I kind of think it flows both ways. So even though primarily I do work with women, but I do have a lot of men who engage with me and talk to me about it. And the struggle is on both sides of the equation where,
Yeah,
both parties think the other party is the problem, right? So the women think if only
true.
men, and the men are like if only women. So I think the whole goal is really about people being honest about where they are, being realistic, being true to what they really desire, and not just going by what society or social media has said an ideal partner should look like. I think that's usually the biggest challenge because, for example, you see women say, "Oh, I want a man who's rich, who's wealthy, who's ambitious." But then when you dig a little bit deeper, he could be rich, he could be ambitious, but if he doesn't support the woman, if he doesn't protect her, if she doesn't feel like she has a support system, someone who has her back, then the money really doesn't matter. So the narrative or society has led us to believe that we need money to feel safe in a relationship, but money doesn't give you the safety that women are looking for. And that's another thing I did realize later on in life. Like both parties want peace, but what peace means to both parties is different. So men are looking for women who don't nag, who are supportive, right? Who are a bit more feminine, who are not as aggressive, who is not as controlling, right? Who don't complain too much. So for a man, that will may define what his peace is. But then for a woman, when she says, "I also want peace," is more around the safety, the security that comes with having a supportive partner there, and not so much the financial. But money never hurt anybody, so money is good too. Because,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
not
good
that
to
the
have.
physical money is good. It's just that when there's financial strain, the relationship suffers, right? So I think from the last time we spoke, which is probably about a year ago, I think it's gotten worse, if if you ask me. But I think a lot of people are, I think the older you get, the better you are at being honest with yourself and really realizing that what you're really looking for is not this idealistic, tall, dark, and handsome, wealthy, white picket fence with a yacht in some country and diamond rings. It's really not about that. It's just about really having somebody by your side.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I remember I've interviewed uh, people as young as in their 20s and up to like almost 80,
Yeah.
and the different styles of what courtship is.
Hmm.
Courtship seems to be not as prevalent now as it was when I was growing up.
Hmm.
When I was growing up, you took a woman out, you bought flowers, you took her to, definitely a restaurant. I hear about all these coffee dates
The
and
coffee
walking
dates.
around the park and all
Yeah.
that. It depends. Now it depends on the woman if she's okay with it, but
Exactly.
I think you got to communicate that at the beginning.
Yes.
Um, but back in my day when I was younger, I didn't mind buying a rose here and
Yeah.
there or flowers.
Yeah.
Some women I hear still like it, but then I hear some women that they don't want flowers. They want to go straight to the high end 4-star, 5-star restaurant. You can have a conversation, but you're eating, you're drinking, you're not. I don't think you communicate as much if you do go. Maybe like the first day you do go to dinner, and you hopefully as a second date Then you could do maybe or a third date, and then maybe you could go to a park or something like that. I don't know. It's so different, man. From when I was growing up.
Absolutely. Like it's very different. And I think depending on what stage in life people are, they're looking for different things, right? And that's where some people who are just looking for something a bit more casual, then it really doesn't matter, right? Coffee day, dinner day, whatever. They know what they're looking for. It's going to be casual anyway.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be monogamous. People are going to do what they want to do. So it's about really understanding what it is that you're looking for. And a lot of women, I dare say, still love the whole buying of flowers, still love the man opening the door, still want a masculine man who's going to step up, right? But again, to be able to attract that kind of man, you have to look at yourself. You have to look inwards. It's not like, oh, there are no men, there are no men. It's you're not able to attract those kind of men. And that's
Right.
what the entire masterclass is really about. We need to get out of our own way so that we can have more clarity and really be honest about what it is that we're looking for, and then also learn how the world has changed, how people date today. It's not how people dated 20 years ago,
No, yeah,
right? Be more
100%. Yeah.
realistic, be more flexible, and then you can start to attract the so-called high value, high quality man, which again means something different to the 20-year-olds, to the 30-year-olds, 40, 50. It's all different now.
So yeah, I want you to talk more about the class that you're doing, your master
Yeah,
class.
yeah,
Are there specific age range that you're looking to
yes.
have on? Okay, so go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, only because, like I said, it's very different. So for a 20-year-old, and you already alluded to that, for the 20-year-olds, it's a little bit different. And even for the early 30-year-olds, people who've never been married, it's different. People who are divorced who are a bit older, it's different. People who are at a more advanced stage in their career, it's different. And so for this masterclass, we really want to focus on people over 40, so 40 and above, who've been through some major relationship. It could be a marriage, it could be a long-term relationship, but really has gone through some of those experiences and is now ready to move into the second phase of their life. And because a lot of that comes with the mistake a lot of people make is they get out of one long-term significant relationship and it's like, oh, where's the next person? Let me just jump right in. But there's just so many things that need to happen before you're ready to jump into that new relationship. What usually happens is they jump right in and the same pattern repeats itself and it's like, oh, it's all the men. No, it's you. It starts with you. So the whole goal of this is people who've been through those experiences come and learn, or maybe unlearn, how to heal first. Deal with all of that baggage, deal with the things about you that are attracting those kind of people, and make sure that you're ready to date again. So that we call it the 5 steps to attracting your dream man, because really that's what it really takes. You got to heal, then you have to go love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, no, ain't nobody gonna love you. So you need to go learn to love yourself and accept yourself for who you are. Then you can start thinking about, okay, am I really ready to date? And if I'm ready to date, what kind of man am I trying to attract? Be clear on that, and then go learn some skills on how to actually attract and keep and nurture relationships that will lead to the long-term fulfilling relationships that people are looking for.
Do you think that social media has a lot to do with either uh, making both sexes delusional in what they
Yeah,
want?
absolutely.
Go ahead. You said it so quickly.
Absolutely.
And also, and a follow-up question. So we talk about social media, but also, are we looking at when people get out of a relationship, whether it's a long-term relationship or they're jumping into the next relationship? Are we calling those? I know back in my day, we used to call them rebound
Mhm.
relationships. You break up, and then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks later, you're dating someone, and then you figure out, well, I don't even like this person at all. I like him only as
Exactly.
a friend. And
Yeah.
so, are you seeing that in your coaching and your
Yeah. Yeah.
situation with people just
Yeah.
jumping from one relationship to another without, like you say, healing, or at least giving themselves a break?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why healing is the first step, because everyone thinks that once they get out of a relationship, they're ready. And sometimes you don't even know that you're not ready. You don't even know that you have trauma from that relationship. You have baggage that you haven't dealt with, right? So it's making sure that you don't skip that step. Make sure you're really, really healed and that you're ready to move forward into the next relationship. Rebound relationships, I've yet to see one that has really worked out. You usually just attract exactly the same person you broke up with. So
Yeah.
just look a bit different with a different name. So taking the time out to really heal and go love yourself, and forgive yourself and take responsibility, not looking for who to blame and point fingers. Oh, it was him, it was him. Well, even if the barest minimum, you chose that person, you chose to be in a relationship with that person, whether it was 1 week, 1 year, 10 years, you decided to be with that person. So you need to go accept responsibility for that. You need to heal from whatever it is happened in that relationship. Forgive yourself. The barest minimum, the relationship taught you something about yourself. So go learn, go accept all of that stuff, and then heal from it and be in a positive position to be able to move forward and attract a healthy person. A successful relationship is one between two healed and healthy people. It's not two people who are still hating, because all you're going to do every day is talk about your ex and hate on your ex. Oh, can you imagine she was this, she's trash. It just shows that you really haven't healed at all. So go heal first, and then you can attract another healed person.
So I guess it depends on the person, but is there a time limit before you start dating again?
No, there's no time limit. It depends on the person, but there are ways to assess, and that's one of the things that we're going to cover in the masterclass. Like, how do you really assess if you're healed and you're ready? And there's many ways you can do it, but we're going to be focusing on one, really, for people to know, because you got to be honest with yourself. You would know whether you've truly healed, and you might not know the questions to ask, but we will ask you those questions, and you can be honest and do some introspection and know that, okay, maybe not quite yet. Maybe I still need some work to do on myself before I'm ready to carry that baggage into my next relationship.
So you think when it comes to a woman or a man, and they gone through a tough relationship, a breakup, someone that they really cared about, but the other person didn't feel the same way. When you talk to that person, are they letting out their guts? In other words, this person did this to me, this, in other words, the blame game. Does that happen a lot?
That's the number one sign. That is the number one sign that you haven't healed. Because victim, you're still in victim mode. You're still thinking that it's the other person who did something to you.
Right. So again, when are you gonna have this event? Talk more about it, because
it's coming up on the 20th of July, which is 9 days away. So I really want to encourage everyone to sign up, register. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. And it's going to run for 3 hours. And, like I said, we really want to work with people who are ready, who feel like maybe they've been out of the game for a while. I can't figure out how this whole dating thing works, online dating, swiping left and right. I don't want to swipe left and right. Or, I keep attracting the same kind of people, the same patterns. Why me? Why not? Or even the people who believe that there are no good men available. All the good men are taken. Right? Or I'm not lovable. No one's going to love me because I don't look a certain way. So we want to really, really address some of those things that are holding people back. And like I said, the title of the masterclass is Get Out of Your Own Way, because that is what it is. We, all of us, if you're stuck, unable to move forward into your next relationship, it's because you're in your own way. You haven't done the inner work. It's an inside job. You have to take care of the inside for you to be able to attract what you're looking for on the outside.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely on my end. I'll definitely, have the like show notes, like about your event on the 20. What was that, on the 20th?
On the 20th of July. 20th of July. Write it down. Set it on your phone. Reminders.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'll definitely put it up on Facebook. I'll definitely put it on my website and everything, so that people can to join. So, Joan, one of the things that you being working with people over 40. Would you work with people under 40 if need be, if somebody came to you and say, hey, this is what I'm going through, can you help?
Yeah, so I do have clients that are younger than 40, but I think what ties everyone together is that they've been through some significant long-term relationship.
Right.
I think people who haven't been through that have a different mindset around relationships. Right. And I don't want to group everyone together. I just really want to work through people who've been through a very, very difficult breakup, because the trauma is real. And that's my own experience. I've been through interesting relationships in my life. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've been able to work on myself to heal and really learn how all of this works. Why is it that some people have it so easy and others, it just seems to be the same repetitive cycle over and over again? And so I took it upon myself to go do the work, and it took me years to really, really go deep and really figure out what is it that helps people be able to be in long-term loving relationship, right? Where the narrative is not, all relationships are crap anyway, so just tolerate, just endure, as opposed to enjoy. And now that I've been able to do the work for myself, and I've helped a lot of people do the same. I'm like, I'm unleashed. I just want to help as many people as possible to know that this is a possibility. It's not, oh, it can happen for some, or it can happen for everybody. We're all deserving of that kind of love, that kind of partnership where you can say, well, this is my person. There's a person for every person. So that's it. We want to make sure that we help as many people as possible.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something to look forward to.
Yes.
I know we have maybe a limited time left, but how big is law of attraction? And yeah, so go ahead. I already see you smiling, so go ahead.
So the law of attraction, one of the things I really love about the law of attraction is it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Like the law of attraction will always, always be true. And if you look at every area of your life, you will see that it is true. So when it comes to relationships, the law of attraction states that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And so that's always a very painful point to a lot of people when I say, oh, you can't meet male, I keep attracting the same kind of people, then it's you. There's something about you that is attracting those kind of people. Like I said, again, that's why it's an inside job. When you work on you and you get yourself to a high vibrational state where this is what I'm looking for, and you're able to really exist at that level, only then can you attract people on that same frequency. So you can desire, and that's what when we're talking about being realistic as well, you can have a list that says, I want, 6'5", wash butt belly and whatever, great cook, great dad, do it. Are you all of those things?
Right.
Are you all of those things? You cannot attract what you are not. You can desire, you can want it, you can keep thinking, I'll find the one that's going to love me. No, you're going to attract the one that is like you. So the law of attraction, I love it because you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It works 100% of the time. So work on you, get yourself to the place where you need to be able to attract that kind of person.
Right.
There's no delusional, the one that loves me will show up. He ain't showing up.
One of the no, and that's true because I'm a big believer in law of attraction, karma, and all that stuff. A huge believer. So, Joan, one of the things, and we'll talk more about your upcoming event on the 20th. People always say, "Where can I find a good woman or a good man?" There's, to me, I've heard, and people that I've interviewed, I'm pretty sure you've done the same. It's always meeting like-minded people. If you like sports, I'm just as an analogy, I'm just throwing that. Then you go maybe to a sports bar, or if you like business events, maybe you can meet someone at a business event. Because there's tons and tons of meetups around the city of New York and pretty much everywhere in the USA. Would that be something that you could talk about more, like where to meet, as they say, where the good men are or the good women?
Again, this is assuming that you're good, because for you to be looking for good, it means you're good.
Right.
Just going back to law of attraction. Okay. So I know that the comfort for, especially for older people over 40, is offline dating. They don't love the online experience. I personally love the online experience because it's less awkward and you can just filter very quickly and just block them and no one will be any wiser. You just move on with your life and move on to the next match. But anywho, so there's online dating.
All right. Joan, I think we talked about this. I'm not a fan of online dating. I really believe it's meeting someone in person and getting to know them right then and there. That's just me. So that's my pushback on that. But go ahead. Talk about that.
I totally understand. So here's the challenge with offline dating. So back in the day, it was okay for a group of women to go out together on a Friday night, and men would still come over and talk to whoever they were interested in. Today's world doesn't happen because, first of all, the men are scared to walk up to a group of women who are probably like,
Well, that is a scary proposition to do. If you're the only guy and there's like 5, 6 women, that could be scary.
Yeah.
But I like one of our listeners, Archangel. I kind of agree with him, face to face. That I always been that way. But go ahead, Joe. It's your show.
For those who are still brave enough to walk up to women, or for women who are brave enough to walk up to men, because it can go either way, good. But the chances of a woman just going to a bar, buying herself a drink, and sitting there by herself and being open for men to approach her, it's very uncomfortable. Well, I find it uncomfortable because now I'm thinking, geez, are they going to think I'm selling something? Right. And even to be honest, like even if I'm at the grocery store and I see a man walking towards me trying to make eye contact, I just look away. Like I just pick up my phone and I'm like, oh, don't talk to me, you quit. But again, that's just the world, the way the world has moved. The world has really shifted. And that's why for me, online dating just kind of gets rid of all of that stuff. It's just easy for you to just look and read what you want to read. I don't want to talk to this person. It's a left. It looks kind of okay. It could be all right. But again, offline, online is great. So let's stick to the offline.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for offline dating, yes, there's so many places to meet people. Like you just said, you can meet people on the street, walking, cycling. If you have things that you're really interested in, things that you're really passionate about, then go to those kind of meetups because again, at least you have something in common, a common interest that can create that initial bond, something for you guys to talk about or do. I think where the problem is people are just at home and just waiting for him to come knock at your door. He's not coming. He's not coming. So you have to put yourself out there, right? You have to go for events. You have to pick up a new hobby. You have to join your neighborhood, whatever, join volunteering, whatever. But it has to be things that you're interested in. Do not go and, like, I have a friend who, she was told that a lot of people meet when they go hiking because hiking takes hours. So while you're hiking, you can connect with people. She hates hiking, but she went hiking and she did start talking to a guy. And of course, he was like, oh, so next weekend, you want to do this again? And she's like, I'm not going hiking, like, forget that, right? So be authentic. Make sure that it's something that you're genuinely interested in. Right. Don't go and lie and say, I'm interested in skydiving if you're not, right? Or I'm interested in cycling if you're not. Your interest, go and join meetups, communities, whatever it is. I know that people also like the introduction where somebody introduces you. It's not as popular these days. I've been burned where I introduce people, it didn't work out and they try to put me in the middle. So I kind of don't like to do that anymore. I know it's still a comfortable place for people, but okay, fine. Go to parties. If your friends are having parties, show up, be there, be approachable. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you put yourself in the middle of 50,000 men. If you haven't done the work internally to make you attractive so that you can attract men, it's just not going to happen. Yeah. Once you've done the work, you will find that it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what you look like. You will always attract men. That's been my experience anyway, right? So work on yourself, and then where to meet the people will not be a problem.
All right, that sounds good. So again, tell us more about your event. What time is the event? Where can they find the event?
Yes. So it's called Get Out of Your Own Way, the 5 steps to finding and attracting your dream man in 2024. It's happening virtually on the 20th of July, 10 a.m. Eastern. So I don't know what that is for the rest of the world, but 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to run for 3 hours. It's a transformative experience, I promise you. We're going to be talking about everything from healing to self-love to assessing whether you're ready to date, to defining what your ideal man is, not what social media has said it should be, or even what your parents said it should be. Right. We're going to be really, really getting into what is your ideal man for you? And then how can you go about getting your ideal man? And again, some of the things we talk about, online dating, offline dating. Even when you show up on a date, what kind of conversations? How do you show up? Right? All of those things really matter. How do you nurture relationships to be able to have that relationship that you want? Okay, someone is saying people lack confidence. That's why face-to-face something. No, absolutely, and that's what I said.
I definitely agree with Archangel, and he's a childhood friend of mine. So I had him on the show a while ago, and I agree because I remember when I was younger, I preferred to be introduced, and then I could do it. But as I got older, I started getting more confident. I'm like, hey, you know what? She says no, whatever. And I started going, to me, one of the ways to meet people is speed dating. I did that years ago, and I'm going to tell you, Joan, I see that look in your face. Let me finish first. I thought speed dating, I had a great time. You're there. It's only 5 minutes, so you don't really get to know someone in 5 minutes. But again, at least you're out there. Singles events, then now you have age appropriate singles events where it could be from anywhere from I think 25 to 35, so they got like
Yeah.
anywhere from a 7 to
Yeah.
10-year age gap.
Yeah.
But that's another way to do it. And to me, to do the speed dating,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to get out of your comfort zone too, Joan. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I agree. So I've been done many speed dating events. Like even I did the tantric speed, like I've done many speed dating events. And the
Right.
challenge is, so a man who's 25 can date a 25-year-old female. A man who's 35 can maybe date a 25-year-old. A man who's 45 still wants to date a 25-year-old. So what the hell is going to happen to all the 45-year-old women? And that's really the challenge. And I've
Yeah.
spoken to people who organize the speed dating events, and that's the challenge. When it's in a younger age bracket, it's fine because they don't care. They don't care too much about age. But when it comes to the older people, so men who are in their 40s and their 50s, most of them are not trying to date women in their 40s and 50s. They're still trying to date the 25-year-olds.
Yeah. No.
So then you're there, and the 45-year-old women are just like, no one's gonna match with me.
Yeah. No. And it's a good point because I've seen other podcasters and I've read articles where a lot of older men in their 40s want to date and they always say one or two reasons. One is they're still somewhat pure. They don't have a lot of bodies. I mean, and it's funny. And the funny thing is, I remember seeing Chris Rock say, why, as a man, this is maybe 10, 15 years ago, why do you want to know what a woman's body count is? No matter what number she gives, is going to be too much for us anyway. And he hit it right on the head. I know when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, I mean, maybe Archangel could talk about it, or right, because we never even talked about it when I was in my 20s and early 30s. It never even came up.
Yeah.
Now another thing is single mothers. Oh, don't date single mothers.
Yep.
It's not your kid. You can't discipline them. Wow, the world has changed, because when I was younger, in my 20s and early 30s, I dated a few single mothers. It didn't bother me one bit. But I knew, Joan, that I wasn't a priority. I knew that. The kids are a priority, especially if I'm 30, 35, and the woman might be a few years younger, but she has like an 8, 10-year-old. I know I'll be lucky to see her at certain. So I knew that.
Yeah.
Now it's like a taboo. Oh, single mothers. Oh, that's no, don't do it. So again, Joan, I think with men, for me, I've seen women that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they still look great.
Absolutely.
And I think some of these guys, gotta, if you're 50, you want to date a 25-year-old. For me personally, I have a little bit of an issue with that. Near my age, I don't mind if it's a 10-year gap, even maybe 12 years. I don't know if I could go more than that. That's just me personally. So go ahead, Joe. Could I see you? Yeah, go ahead.
So I think, again, like I said, and I agree with Archangel, like it really does help to boost the confidence of men. But I do have friends and clients who've gone on speed dating events and did not match with a single person.
Okay.
That does something for your
For the ego. Yeah,
like,
no,
wow,
I can understand that.
like, wow, not a single man matched with me. Because again, people have all these expectations. So maybe they also went there thinking, I'm going to pick the most fit human in the room or whatever. Because again, you only have 3 to 5 minutes to chat with this person. But it's been very demoralizing for a lot of women where they're like, geez, not even one single match at this speed dating event, right? So again, it's whatever works for you. I don't think there is a hard and fast rule around anything. I think it's just wherever you're most comfortable, right? Where you feel like you can put your best foot out there, you can show up as your true self, confident, but also as your authentic self, so that you can meet the right kind of people. Right. So for me, if it's speed dating, great. If it's joining a dance, like people join dance classes, it works. I know people who've met, in dance classes, but you better love dancing, right? Whatever.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Whatever you
100%.
feel comfortable, right? But
Yeah.
just don't stay at home and hoping he's going to ring the doorbell, because he's not.
No, you got to be active. Yeah, definitely got to be active. So, Joe, before we go, tell us one more time that event.
One more time. One more time. Get out of your own way is a masterclass, a 3-hour live masterclass coming up on the 20th of July. Please register. Oh, I should type out the link.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, let people
It's
see it. Yeah.
masterclass.datingwithjoan.com. Let me just do that quickly.
Okay.
Masterclass. And again, the goal is we want to get out of our own way. We want to make sure that we set ourselves up for success so that we can attract and meet our dream men in 2024. That is the goal. This is a humongous opportunity for again, men can attend too, because it's the same process.
Yeah.
Right? For everyone, the same process. Go through the process, go through the steps, do the inner work for you to be able to attract your dream delicious partner.
Well, sounds good. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to definitely attending that myself. But yeah, anyway, Joan, anything else you want to talk about before we go? Or
No, not really. But I just want to leave people with a final message. For anyone who's given up, who thinks there's no one out there for me, or I'm too old, or I've had too many chances and I have no more chances, it is not true. There's no age limit to love. There's no scarcity of anything, male or female, in the world. There are high quality, good people out there who are looking for partners to connect with and have a fulfilling love relationship. So if this is the message you're going to hear for this year, put yourself out there, right? Believe that it is possible, because it is possible. You can have what you desire, but you got to be willing to do the work.
yeah, no,
And that's what
it always comes down to the
helping
work.
you with. We will help you do the work. You do the work, we'll just tell you what to do.
Yes. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Joan, I had a great conversation with you. I could probably talk to you for another hour or so. So, so one more word, one more last word, gets to the audience out there. What's the goal?
Go register.
There you
go register right away. Do not procrastinate. 2024 is the year. We're getting it done this year. It is possible. It's doable. It doesn't take time at all. It doesn't.
Yeah.
We're getting it done.
All right, sounds good. Well, Joan, again, thank you so much. I love talking to you and all that. I gotta definitely have you back on the podcast even sooner. Maybe we'll do more of we gotta do one day is like a webinar or something, Yeah, I think we got to do that. We got to definitely talk more about that.
Yes,
and like my friend Angel says, you got to take the lead.
Got to take the lead. Yeah.
Angel, that's a good one. Thank you, Joan.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank
See
you.
you at the masterclass. Okay.
Yep. Bye.